This has been the year of the underdog in football, with many trophy droughts being broken. In England, Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, their first trophy in their history, whilst Spurs, they broke a 17-year trophy curse, and Newcastle, they won their first trophy in 56 years. Elsewhere in Europe, Go Ahead Eagles and Union Saint-Gilloise both broke 90-year trophy droughts, whilst Bologna won the Coppa Italia, their first trophy in over 50 years. These are all amazing success stories, but there is one which is arguably more impressive that's gone under the radar in world football. What if I was to tell you that there is a team from a country's second division which has qualified for European football? Well, it might not be that unusual. We've seen Wigan and Birmingham play Europa League football as championship teams, but they qualified when they were in the Premier League. This is a little different. Meet FC Spaeri Tbilisi, a team who currently play in the Recruitment Liga 2, which is the second division of Georgian football, who have just qualified for the Conference League. Who are FC Spaeri? What is their history? And how on earth have they qualified for European football?
Just before we get into the video, please remember to like and subscribe to see more content like this where we do deep dives into certain football topics. And if you've got any recommendations on what I could cover next, then please feel free to leave that in the comments. And let me know, what has been the biggest underdog story this season?
FC Spaeri Tbilisi were formed in 2017 by 5 individuals who were members of the Special State Protection Service, SSPS. This is a militarised government agency tasked with protecting Georgia's elite. The word Spaeri is translated to English as shield, which can be seen on the SSPS and the club's badge, acting as a symbol for the club's ethos. Based in Tbilisi, Georgia's capital, they had a dream to reach the top division and began life in the localised 5th division with a team largely composed of SSPS servicemen. Under the leadership of Kaka Maizaradze, a run of 19 wins in 21 games saw Spaeri romp to the league title in their very first season of existence. By 2021, just 4 years after their founding, FC Spaeri were playing football in a Recruitment Liga 2, which is the second division of Georgian football, and that's where they've remained since. So, how have they shot up the division so quickly? Before restructuring as a private club, FC Spaeri were heavily supported by the SSPS, who provided facilities, funding and players, creating the foundations of the club's ethos, which are discipline and unity, which is going to give you a sense of professionalism, which is very important considering the quality of the Georgian 5th division. It's basically Sunday League. FC Spaeri still do receive support from the SSPS. Their home stadium, creatively named FC Spaeri Stadium, is located on the grounds of a special service unit. What is important to their rise though is the rapid growth within Georgian football. Like many other former USSR nations such as Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan, the football scene in Georgia is rapidly growing and improving. Whilst the 90s brought some great talent, the likes of Kaka Kaladze, Shotar Avaladze, Timur Ketsbaya and Georgi King Kladze come to mind, the nation has underperformed massively as they've come to terms with independence during the 2000s and early 2010s, with little quality in their national team. This has all changed in the 2020s though, with the nation now boasting names like Georgi Mamadashvili, Gvicha Varachkelia, Georges Mikhail Tadze and Jureko Davatashvili, who have all led Georgia to Euro 2024, whilst youngsters like Gabriel Segura, Saba Goglashidze and Saba Karabashvili are proving that this golden generation is no fluke. There are many reasons for this, but the main one is GFF president Levin Kobiashvili, a Georgian football legend, capped 100 times by his national team. Levin Kobiashvili was made president of the Georgian Football Federation in 2015 and has introduced some radical changes. Before his reign, Georgian football was going through an identity crisis, ripe with corruption and match fixing, with funds being hugely misspent, which damaged the growth within Georgian football. By eradicating this and cleaning up the game, it allowed funds to finally be spent correctly, but also opened up further funding opportunities for talent development and grassroots football through UEFA and FIFA, notably UEFA Hat-Trick. With these funds and cleaner finances, clubs could actually focus on youth development, with Dinamo Tbilisi, Sabatalo, who are now known as FC Iberia, and FC Spaeri leading the line on this. FC Spaeri are yet to reap the rewards of this, but they are starting to see youth players coming through into the first team like defender Luka Kashabaya. Spaeri's biggest focus is talent development, which has led to them signing players from other academies with the aim of those players going straight into Spaeri's first team. Current first team players include Georgi Grigalashvili, Timur Salagalashvili and also star man Saba Gegiadze, who has got 11 goals and assists in 16 games. All of these players have been signed either from Dinamo Tbilisi's Talent Factory or FC Iberia's academy. Another reason for their rise is their management and stability behind the scenes. The club has never overspent and has kept within their means financially whilst remaining clean behind the scenes. They are yet to have any involvement with match fixing or corruption scandals, which, trust me, is a major achievement for a Georgian football club. This squeaky clean reputation allows the club access to federational and UEFA support as per the match fixing rules implemented by President Kobiashvili. Whilst this sounds fairly normal and standard practice for most football clubs, this is actually very forward thinking for a club in the lower tiers of Georgian football. What has also helped the rise is the clear identity and ethos that are set within the team, which can be really hard to implement and become recognisable for such a new football club. Through hiring former managers and SSPS servicemen to the backroom staff, they've been able to really set and implement their ethos and identities within the players. Very similar to how Ajax operate at board level. Their ethos are unity, mental toughness and tactical discipline, creating a side that's really tough to beat and break down. This is also why they tend to recruit younger players from academies, as on a general basis, these players are a lot more adaptable and impressionable, which means it's a lot easier to implement tactics and ideologies around ethos and personal traits. So this is the reasoning behind their rise through the Georgian football pyramid, but how on earth are they in the Conference League? On the 5th of December 2024, FC Spaeri did the unthinkable. In a cup run where they beat first division sides like FC Gagra and Talavi, Spaeri found themselves in the Georgian Cup final, their equivalent of the FA Cup, where they would go against city neighbours and Georgian giants Dinamo Tbilisi. Spaeri took the lead in the 45th minute before falling 2-1 down. This looked to be a mountain impossible to climb. However, this team of mentality monsters dug deep, and in the 89th minute, as a ball was fizzed into the box, an unmarked Saba Gegiadze latched onto the cross to score from close range, punishing Dinamo for their poor defending and causing limbs in the Spaeri end. Spaeri took Dinamo to penalties where they would win 5-4, with keeper Bakuti Putkaradze instantly becoming a Spaeri icon, saving 2 from the spot. The stadium was contrasted with emotion. One side jubilant, the other silenced into shock. The biggest cup set in Georgian history and one of the biggest in European football had just occurred. FC Spaeri, the team of mentality monsters, had just shown that they mean business in Georgia. Winning the cup allowed them qualification into the 2025-26 second round qualifiers of the UEFA Conference League, being one of, if not the smallest team to ever qualify for European competition, and just the second ever team from Georgia's second tier to have qualified for Europe, when FC Gagra done it 14 years earlier. Yet again, Spaeri will have to defy the odds, as they take on Austrian giants FK Austria Vienna home and away on the 24th and 31st of July 2025. Is there another upset on the cards?
No, is the answer. They got done in 7-0 on aggregate. But unlucky Spaeri, hopefully we see you in Europe again soon.
The finances from this will be game-changing for FC Spaeri, with the club receiving a €525,000 windfall for qualifying for the second round of the Conference League. A ridiculous amount of money for the Georgian second tier, where most of the teams are semi-professional. As of 2025, their playing budget currently rivals most Liga 1 sides, with the club making good and sensible use of the funds, as they're on track to win promotion to Liga 1, and they also reached the Georgian Super Cup final. Sadly though, they lost 2-0 to FC Dilagori. Spaeri are making waves within the growing game in Georgia, and if they can keep on track, they will be a force to be reckoned with. Keep all eyes on FC Spaeri.